All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Curveball by G. Hopefully you guys are liking it or loving it and subscribing. Today I have a special guest, Jenn Winn, who is not only a friend, but actually started as a client of mine on the business marketing side of things. And we've survived.
We've made it. We're
kind
here.
of. If only they knew. If only they knew.
That's relative, right? That's all relative.
So welcome to the podcast, and thank you for being on, Jenna.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I wanted you guys to learn a little bit more about Jenna. Her business model is unique, and it's definitely a missed market, and that's why I'm glad that you're involved in it. And yeah. I loved it, obviously, and took it on as a client. And your company, Winn Therapy, is a concierge physical therapy company. And tell us a little bit about that and the curveball, if you will, of how you ended up there.
Yeah. Well, the year was 2020. Do you remember it? Yeah, no, 2020 was the catalyst.
Which was a terrible year for so many, but I feel like it was such a good year for so many other entrepreneurs.
Eye-opening.
That's why I started mine.
Yeah, completely eye-opening year. And it kind of started, I was in the outpatient world for years, ever since I graduated PT school. And even like through other additional training, I was always working in the outpatient world. So what that typically looked like was like a 10-hour day, a 1-hour lunch break, and I would see 2 to 3 patients on the hour, every hour of that day. And it was, I mean, as a young professional, I was like, yeah, let's go. We're like grinding. But then I was like, and in 2020, I'm like, what are we doing here? Kind of got to this point where, I don't know, like, you know, the shade was kind of drawn back for everybody, and we can kind of see sometimes companies weren't really like being run the nicest way. Anyways, whatever. So I got to see that, and I just kind of had a change of heart with how I truly felt like treating patients should go. And to me, that was one-on-one direct care that was individualized to that person, not me trying to, you know, stretch Susie over here while I'm like, okay, yeah, you go do that lift over there. It was just so much of a mind shift for me. And the curveball of it all was how do you start a business while you're still kind of working in another space? And how do you jump, you know, like how do you actually have the balls to do it?
Literally.
To do it. And that was hard. That was hard for me. I mean, whenever we initially met I think I reached out to you at the end of 22 to like do the marketing stuff. I know. And we like started working at the beginning of 23.
Yeah, I remember it was like January 1st we kicked off.
Yeah. Like I was still kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like
I know. I felt that when I met you. Yeah.
Like, how do I do this? Like, I feel like this is a niche market. No one is doing it. At least when you do a Google search, there was no one doing it in Kansas City at the time. And so I was just like, this is a market that I think is untapped, and I needed to go for it ultimately.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah. It's been a ride. It's been a real ride,
to say the least. We all know that in entrepreneurship. And I mean, we talked about this last night, even you and I. We had a little Taco Tuesday moment that ran late. Always talking business though. But like the other side of, or like a very serious side of all of that also is the imposter syndrome, right? Because as a young professional, you're already kind of feeling like, do I know my shit? You know, you're like, yes, as you guys don't know this, but she is like incredibly smart. And how long, we talked about this literally last night. You went to school, your PT school, and then another year and then 2 more years?
Yeah, So my orthopedic residency, which is just like a board certification in orthopedics, was an 18-month residency program. I graduated from that, passed my boards, and then took about a year off, and then I just put myself right back in the fire and did fellowship training. So that was like basically a fellowship in manual physical therapy. And that distinction from a clinical perspective is kind of like the highest distinction you can get to in terms of outpatient ortho world. Yeah.
So your girl is educated. Your girl is educated, but there's still that like, do I really know what I'm talking
100%.
about? You know, like I did that so bad. And there are moments I feel like I still have that in business that I have. Oh my God, I forgot to put my rings on today. But you know, I have that often too. So like, I would say that is a curveball again in business. And so like, how did you navigate the imposter syndrome of it all? I mean, because what? You started your business, like full launch mode was beginning of 23.
23. Yeah. I mean, that's when you and I started working together and I really started to get traction.
Yeah. Which it still took about a year. I mean, and people don't understand that about business. It's like, it is not a blink and you've got money.
No.
Or patients or clients, if you will. But like, I mean, yeah. So talk to me through that. I mean, I experienced a little bit of the side of your emotional journey of it because it's hard.
I probably cried to you at least two or three
times. I mean, but same. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is still something, no matter how highly educated I am, there's still always these times where it's just like when you're dealing with other people, you're like, am I doing the best that I can do for them? Or do I need to pivot on that? And then the imposter syndrome of, I've never ran a business before. Like, who gave me the right to start this thing? Like, who's watching me at this point? No, like, who let me loose?
I need parental
supervision, please.
At all times.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, it's daily. But I think, I think the whole thing to combat it is you truly have to be delusional a little bit to get over that initial feeling. And then it's always literally delulu before you can, like, actually feel good in what you're doing. And I think that's what it was. I mean, I've always had the support of my husband, you know, like he was almost the sole reason that I was able to chase this dream. Right. I mean, he's holding down the fort while I'm like, hey, let me go try to start a business really quick. Okay.
Very screw my job.
It's just, screw the, you know, the feeling like I can get up and get paid every day. Right. Who needs money?
Who needs that?
Who needs security? But yeah, so
security, never heard of her.
Literally, shout out to him for sure. But yeah, I think working through imposter syndrome by recognizing what like your ultimate goal is you always have to keep that in mind. And then you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. I mean, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you should probably hang around entrepreneurs, you know?
You got to have a couple of them in your back pocket.
You have to. Yeah. You can bounce ideas off of them. And then I also just feel like they're kind of there to be like, it's okay. You've got it. You know, in those moments where you're like, I'm quitting. What am I doing? Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I've had those moments a lot.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what it is. But again, I think from a healthcare perspective, the imposter syndrome can come in like, people are paying me to get them better. You know, this is an objective thing that we want to see this objective data and we should see this progressing. And sometimes the body can be a little, you know, it doesn't really work with you in the way that you think it's going to. And I think sometimes I always have to like revert back, like, okay, I do know what I'm talking about though. Like, let's go back to basics. This is okay. Maybe we're like hitting a hitch here or there with a patient, whatever, but we can always get around it. So,
and you go to clients' homes or really wherever they need you to meet, whatever, which is clutch,
honestly.
Like,
I mean, convenience.
Good for you. Yeah. And people pay for convenience.
100%. I do too.
Yeah. So that's 100% like the perfect market. Like, I know all of my friends absolutely pay for convenience.
100%.
Like, well, yeah. If
you don't have to go take an hour out of your day to like go to a place and then do this, whatever. It's like people are busy.
She's like the Uber Eats of PT.
Exactly. I can
like,
be you, babe.
It couldn't get better than that, unless you delivered some like candy with it. You know,
exactly.
Then I'd be like, you should do that.
I have brought dog treats for some of my clients before for their puppers.
I don't have a dog.
So.
Why didn't you bring Chloe a treat? That's crazy.
You know what? Because I don't have them readily available because I don't have a cat. That's what it was. I literally just took some of Bo's and like.
Now we know her secret. If you're getting dog treats on delivery with your PT session, they're definitely Bo's, and he is pissed. He's like, Mom, there's one less,
and he knows it.
He definitely keeps. I know that boy. He keeps count on those.
Oh yeah, he's a treat boy.
No, but you talked about like your husband and being able to lean on him, but what you didn't mention is the fact that your husband is also in medicine.
Yes.
So does that ever like? Do you ever like butt heads on ideas, or is he so helpful?
No.
Let's clip that part because we can definitely send that to him.
It goes both ways. So my husband is an emergency room physician. So yes, he's in medicine, but we are like in so much different of a space for that, because he has to decide if these people are dying and then treat them accordingly. I'm like, let's chat for half an hour. What brings you in today? What have been your problems in the past? I mean, I'll spend an hour and a half, 2 hours with every client on our initial evaluation, which is also a plus for the concierge, because like that was not happening in an outpatient. Okay?
No, you said it was like 15 minutes in and out, right?
Yeah. I mean, you had an hour, but you were splitting that time. So that's really different. But yeah, so this has gone both ways. So I love the fact that like in Missouri and Kansas now, it's like we have direct access. So that means that patients don't have to go to the doctor before they come to me.
It was just Missouri first, right?
It was Kansas first.
Oh, okay.
And then Missouri was like in August, I think, last year, in 23.
So it just changed, yeah.
And so there is this this component where if I see a zebra, what we call in the medical field, it's like, you expect horses, not zebras, right, when you hear hooves. But if a zebra pops up and I'm just like, I don't know what this is from like a differential diagnosis standpoint, I'm like, hey, Wes, have you ever seen this? Because he sees weird stuff in the emergency, in the ED. So there is that component where like I can like bounce ideas off of him and stuff like that. But then there's also the side where he'll come home and like talk about patient interactions. I'm like, oh, I think that maybe you could have probably spent a little bit more time delivering this type of message so your bedside manner is better, and so we can kind of like go back and forth on it a little bit. And I'm just like a little bit bossy about it.
I know.
I'm like, well, this is what I would do.
I was just imagining you telling him that.
The eye roll, right? Yeah. Like, you just be like, okay, well, like literally live 10 hours in my life and maybe you'd have a different story. He deals with a lot of crazy stuff in there. And I'm just like, I think you could have delivered that nicer.
A little thinner.
Yes. So it's both.
And he definitely does not have the clientele you have.
No. Oh my gosh, no. Well, no. It's some people, I mean, it's crazy up there sometimes,
It is crazy up there.
It's crazy. Sometimes people just want a sandwich and sometimes they're literally dying. Who knows? You just never know what you're going to get.
Which is also crazy. My sister had to take my nephew to the ER the other day. Did I show you that?
No.
Broke his little head.
What did you just do? Take a tumble?
Yeah, just a little tumble out the tub.
You have to get stitches?
They glued it.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, Aunt Bunny, head, boo-boo.
Oh my God.
He's so cute.
He's so cute.
But they had to wait like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And that actually, this is a total tangent, but that bothers me when people go to the ER for like literally dumb shit.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Wes is
100%.
His patience on shit is like, no.
100%. Yeah, because people will be like, I have a cough today. And he's like, what about today made you feel like you needed to come in for this cough? And they're like, well, I've had it my whole life. And he's like, again, what about today made you feel like you needed to take care of this?
And
like,
you're holding up the line.
We
got
people that are bleeding,
with a bloody head,
cardiac events, like, yeah. I mean, it's wild. But I tell them all the time, like, can I just like go and like hang out with you for a day? I can't even imagine what I would see.
I would never want to hang out with him. I would up there.
Not
him.
Not him. Just in general.
I would never want to hang out with him.
I think there's something about like seeing your spouse like in their boss mode that you just like don't. I mean, I don't see him in emergency room mode at home. Thank God, right? Like we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, thank God.
But I just think it'd be cool to see,
because he gets to see you in boss mode.
He always has, and the same thing is like, whoa, I never heard you talk like that before. He's like, I've never heard you like educate somebody like that before. This is kind of cool.
He's like, meow.
So yeah, I know. Yeah, so I don't know. It's great. I love it. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but like, I can't imagine having a spouse like not in the medical field to like be able to like
bounce things off
and unload, and not unload, but like here's what my day was like, and then it was the lawyers. Like, he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
My cat, she doesn't even listen to me.
Pets are the best, though. I mean,
she can't even hear me.
They can't even talk back.
Well, she can't hear me.
She's deaf. You're like, let's over here. Stop
and no
it.
sign language with that girl. She doesn't get it.
It's just sign language.
No, that's so nice. But so with your business though, I mentioned like your clientele. Uh-huh. You have a really nice clientele. So once you did cross that bridge and you ended up in the concierge realm, like explain to me how different. Like you just said, it was like bang, 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 bang with these, all these patients. And then now you get to like enjoy your clients,
100%.
right? So like what was that like aha moment? Like, wow, this is where I was supposed to be.
It probably is that. I remember specifically one of my patients, and obviously HIPAA, so I'm not going to like say anything.
Right.
But no identifying. But I remember.
The only reason I know some of her clients is because I introduced them.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, one of these clients that it was word of mouth, not an athlete or anything like that. But it was a chronic pain patient. And this patient had been dealing with chronic pain after a broken femur for years and years. And it was the moment that I actually got to sit down and take an hour-long history with this person to fully understand where she was coming from and like what she had tried before, what she thought did or didn't work, and like where we were gonna go. It was truly like, oh my God, like this is life-changing. Not only for me in terms of like feeling like I can actually help people because I have the time, but for them, like to be able to be listened to, because I know that's not happening in these clinics. They just don't have the time to do it. So that was probably like, oh yeah, this is it. Like this is what I want to be doing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
God, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Look
you.
at that little journey, and she's still going. She's
Look at
still
us.
chugging
Look at
along. The other day, I asked her to hang out. She was like, "No, sorry, I've got patients."
I know,
and I'm
sorry,
like,
I got a client.
me.
I'm busy. Booked and
Booked and busy, baby. We're proud of you. We love that.
I love it.
I mean, we did talk though, like your career. You are very busy now. Your husband obviously very busy.
Yeah.
We get to hang out a lot, and as you guys just heard, I'm single with a cat. So so I have lots of time available to hang out. I shouldn't say lots of time. I'm not really.
I was like,
available
you're
all the
also
time.
very busy.
Yeah,
but
very, very busy. But when I am free and I'm like, Jenna, want to go hang out and get a drink? You can. Jenna, want to go to New York? She can.
I can.
So it's like you have that side of your life while you guys have very amazing professional lives. And it's funny because I talked to Ashley on the last podcast about her, desire to have a family and all the things. And you guys chose the opposite route.
Yeah.
And you guys are nonstop traveling, enjoying your lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I get different, like get the flack. Is that the word from people where it's like, I get it on the side of, when are you going to get married? Bitch, I don't even have a boyfriend. Like
I'm
I'm not
I
need a human first.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
and when are you going to have kids? I'm like,
Right.
I need a human first. And so like, I get it on that side and they're like, oh, why don't you want kids? That's weird.
Yeah. And I've got that for years, which is so interesting though, because to me, I have never just had this like crazy strong maternal pull. Like I just have never, if babies are around, I don't really have baby fever. I think babies are great. Like they're cute, but I'm like, oh God, gotta squeeze those cheeks, like whatever. And so I always just kind of like rode that out. And I was like, okay, well, like it'll change, right? Like that's what my mom always said. She's like, oh, I was like that too. Like it'll change down the road. And I'm like, as the years are progressing, I'm like, it's not changing.
But the trips are continuing to book.
But I'm having a great time. So very fortunate though. Like Wes has always been like that. He's always like known like from the get-go that he just really didn't feel like he wanted children. And so to find a partner that it lines up with that is
that's hard.
Great. I mean,
when people
it's not
disagree.
the norm, right?
Yeah, no.
And I think that would probably be a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Oh, that's definitely
like it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at one point I had to tell my parents like, listen, I love you, but I am not going to have children. You can get them from the other siblings, and it's great. And I do. I have a niece, a nephew, now grown, but then my sister's pregnant now with a third, and so it's just,
shout out, sis.
Listen, I know. I'm like, thank you for holding it down. I'm going to go
how I feel about
Italy.
Bianca right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's so much. All my friends are kind of in that. I say all my friends. A certain subset of my friends are kind of in this married. Everyone's having kids. So like I am around children all the time. And I love it because I get my fill. I get to be like that fun auntie. And then I'm like,
me.
Peace.
Literally like, my sister's baby's poop. I'm like, you got a job.
You're like, I'm here for the kickball and the t-ball and all this stuff is like not.
Of course they love me. All I do is the fun things.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just so much like ingrained in who we are, and everyone kind of knows it now. So it's kind of like a joke. Like we've got a friend group text where like it'll be like one of their kids' birthdays, and we'll send a message like happy birthday, blah blah blah. So we send it of Bo. It was Bo, you know, we send our little dog.
It was his birthday recently.
Yeah, it was his birthday recently. Yeah. He's a nice big boy. But yeah, it's just kind of who we are now, and it's stopped being super crazy because everyone's like, okay, we get it. Like we're not gonna keep asking you because it hasn't changed in 10 years, you know. But
we all know how much I love being asked the same question to get a different answer. That's never going to be a different answer.
100%. You're like, still just finding my person, man.
Still just not. Yeah. No, and I think like we have a really cool, like unique group of friends.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like you're married and you get to run around and do all of our things with us.
Yes.
You know, but it's so fun to like hear all the different life choices and routes and all the things in our friend group. And to me, I mean, I know that you get that question all the time and it's so irritating.
Yeah, you just roll with it at this point. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I am so fulfilled in life right now that I have my friends, my family, my career, this business, like traveling. I just feel like my balance is so good. I'm obsessed with it. So I don't need anything else.
Like, yeah, you're lifing, and it's doing good right now. Good. Yeah. So what do you see then? Like your business is your baby, right?
Yeah.
So like, what do you see for your baby as she grows?
You know, I keep going back and forth about this because, as you know, I'm a very type A person, which means like
the literal opposite. Well, I'm pretty type A about certain things.
You are about certain things,
yeah.
And probably your business stuff. Yeah. I'm everything.
Yeah.
Wes can attest to that.
Yes.
But that makes it like hard for me sometimes to feel like I'm going to feel comfortable expanding to the point where I'm bringing other people on because I don't know what they're going to do whenever I'm not around, you know? So I think I'm trying to like work through that a little bit.
Well, and trusting someone with your name.
That's what that's what it is. So
I mean,
it would be,
I feel that.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be, I think expanding is probably in my future. I just have to grapple with it and maybe like work through some of those things a little bit before I feel like I'm fully ready to like let go.
Girl, so. I get it. And then being like financially responsible for other people is a whole different element.
100%. And I can't even empathize with that at all at this point. So I'm just like, I'll come to you whenever I'm time to do that.
When you want to have a mental breakdown, let me know.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Love that. We'll just do it together.
We can have wine or margs again. And no, but that is exciting. But it is worth it. Like you have to have, like I was just talking to someone about that with my business. It is a growing pain that is very necessary if you want to grow.
Yeah.
So
I know it is a necessary thing. I think I have to get there mentally.
Yeah.
And then obviously at some point it's going to be a physical thing where I am only one person. I cannot do this.
That's why like I've had to grow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't be at multiple things.
Appreciate that. Yeah, you can't. You can't do everything. So I guess that's whenever I was kind of more in the corporate world, like I was a clinic director. So I feel super confident managing people and I can do that. But when it's your own baby, when it's your own little thing that you've nurtured and like made into this brand, you really do want to make sure that you're giving it to someone that, cares about it as much as you do. And so I think that's on the horizon. I'll just, growing pains is right.
Well, what about the other one that could be on the horizon?
What?
I mean, guys, I had to wear kitten heels today
because
my God. Jenna is a kitten heel girly. And as much as I wanted to literally put a hat on and no makeup, I was like, Jenna's on the podcast. I gotta get my shit together real quick.
I love a fit.
She loves a fit, which is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So
let's throw some fits, bitch.
We'll throw it. I have been dabbling in editing closets and styling for people. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because I haven't gone to school for this, right? I was always like nerdy, math, blah, 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 PT, all this stuff. And then
love a nerd.
There's like this weird creative outlet that I found in fashion and in clothes. And it started with my own and then kind of branched out to like my friend group where they're like, hey, I'm going on this trip. Like, will you tell me what to wear? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And so I'm like picking out all their outfits, all this stuff. And it wasn't until one of my friends hired a stylist in Kansas City to pack for her for Europe. And she's like, I think you should do this. Like, you already do this. You should maybe just do this. And I was all like, I don't know. Like, I'm a super serious PT. Like, I feel like that's going to be like contradicting to what I am. Again, imposter syndrome, right? Here we are again. But I think the more that I've kind of come into it, it's like, I'm a multi-dimensional woman. Like, I'm allowed to have this serious, sciencey, nerdy side with PT and then have this outlet where I can be creative and use what I feel and my vision for things to help other people too. So I've been doing some of that.
And I love that. But you even said that last night, that the other part of that was you were like, I'm a PT. Like, should I know fashion as a PT? Or like, should a PT be fashionable?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. Why not? But I mean, I feel like that's kind of, people always have thoughts about, you know, different career paths and like, well, what should this person dress like?
Yeah.
So I
definitely feel like I go against the grain on that. Again, being in the corporate world, it was like, if you've ever been to a PT, it's like a polo and khakis, and I'm like, ugh.
Imagine.
It ain't me. So I feel like I've kind of like set the tone, and even as this brand, it's like I'll show up in this to people's houses. I'll show up in athleisure, which I love. Like, I love an athleisure moment, but
Same.
you know, make it fashion.
Yeah. Obviously, it's got to look put together.
It's got to be put together. But yeah, like, I just kind of pushing back against all of the stereotypes of the PT world, of the medical world. Like, we can do two things.
I love that for you.
Thanks.
So she's a stylist and a PT.
Listen, we could do both.
I mean, listen, I had to style a couple of the boys for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did. I styled one person.
You did.
Yeah.
I was like,
and you need, like,
add that to mine.
Listen, and they need the help.
Oh, boys need the help.
They need the help.
I'm not even going to say the names.
They're some of the most fun ones, though, because they do sometimes just like, okay. And they just listen to you. And like, you look so good in that. Like, okay, whatever you say. I'm like, wow, that was easy.
Well, really, because, one of mine was easy. The other one was like, gee, you really think these shoes are going to go with that? And
oh my gosh.
Did you see the shoes
Push
you brought?
back.
Yeah. Like,
do you see that?
I'm like, you did ask for my help.
Remember, you asked for this.
So then you see people dressed and you're like, I did that.
I did. Yeah, you look good, kid. You look good.
Me zooming in, I'm like, oh, they posted it.
You're like, I did it.
Yeah.
You look so good. You look so good. Oh, I love it.
The styling side's got to be so fun, though.
It's so fun.
I mean, your whole career. Like, now you're
Yeah.
doing what you love.
Yes. I think that's like the best part, is that I can be like grinding on the PT side, and all of a sudden, like, someone reaches out to me like, hey, I got your number from so-and-so. Like, I, feel like I'm going through like maternity, or like I have this thing coming up. Like, can you come look? And I'm like, yeah. So I almost get to like shut that side of my brain off and like go turn the other side on. And it just feels like, again, it's this perfect balance of just doing exactly what I want to do in life, which I don't think a lot of people get to do.
I think that a lot. Like, I'm like, this isn't fair. Yeah. Like, yes, I work
tirelessly.
Yeah. An insane amount of hours.
Yeah.
Which is also probably not fair. But but there are moments where I'm like, damn, like, I'm really happy in what I do.
Like living your dream.
Yeah, sometimes the dream is a nightmare. But for the most part, the dream is a dream.
Yeah.
And it is, and other people, like, they don't get to do what they love. Like,
right.
Or they could, but they're too scared to actually take that step and go for what they've been dreaming of.
Totally. Yeah. I feel super blessed and privileged that I was in a position that I could like go after that dream, and the doors that it has opened up for me is just unfathomable. It's crazy, and I'm just so grateful for it.
Oh God, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I started with you, it was, you just were like, I mean,
I'm like,
literally
help.
Yeah.
Help me.
And so now it's just like, you just let her fly.
I know. Yeah, I know. I feel like you've like kicked me out of the nest. Like,
I did.
I've just learned so much from you. I mean, I think all the stuff that I learned from you about social media has continued to carry, like through a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah,
which
you've
is
done
just
really
cool.
well. You've done really well.
I think I just need to hire you again, but I'm getting too busy. You need to do it.
The team's ready for you whenever you're ready. But no, I'm so proud. I'm so happy to see your business grow and like your personal growth. And that was another thing we talked about, right? And I don't feel like my business took off until like I was overall confident in myself. Yeah. And that was like my appearance, my, just confidence in my actual knowledge of what I was doing. And I feel like I've literally watched you blossom into that as well. Yeah. And it's so cool to see that. And it is so important to be confident in yourself, because I feel like once you're confident and once you are, Lucas said this in our podcast, and he was like, you were consistent. And that's what when he found me, was the consistency. Yeah. So like confidence and being consistent. Yeah. And then if you have that, I feel like your business can be and probably will be successful, but also you just can't give up when you feel like it's time to give up.
100%. And I think the confidence thing, it's so funny. It's like, you hear people like, where do you get your confidence from? Well, I fake it, right?
Fake it till you make it.
But also you make one decision that has a positive outcome, and that just like starts a domino effect.
Yes.
I mean, even reaching out and asking for help from a social media standpoint and marketing standpoint, like to you, I think that was like my first domino. Like, okay, I just did the first thing. Now what's the next thing? And the next thing. And I just think it kind of just starts off this chain reaction. And
it is wild how many people are willing to help with things when you're starting a business.
Ask.
Yes, it is wild. Like, and people are like, "How did you do it?" And you just start.
You have to
like you literally just start.
100%.
And Google things.
And everyone's doing that.
Yes.
Everyone's doing that.
Yes.
I mean,
it is such a facade when you think someone thinks they know what they're doing.
Yes.
They don't. They're figuring it out.
100%. And
every day I'm having to figure something else out.
You know everything is the moment that like
something else hits and you're like, what?
Yeah, or you're no longer growing. Like you just don't get to a point where like, I got this. And it's like, oh shoot, I need to learn more, or I need to expand here, or whatever, you know, just
where can I get a little uncomfortable?
Yeah. I mean, that's where you're going to make the biggest impact in your own life, I think.
Yeah.
So philosophical.
I'm sorry. Should have heard us over marks.
Truly. Getting very deep.
Very deep.
Very deep. Very spiritual.
Facts. What was the spiritual thing we were talking about last night?
What, tarot?
Oh my God, yes. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have also.
Because like
add that to what you do.
Because
my witchy little Jenna.
Yeah. So I mean, our star signs are just gonna have a really great year, and so based on like the planetary alignment. So it's totally based in science, and it's very fun. But yeah, great years coming ahead, and whether or not it's true, we're going to speak it into existence. Let's go.
We will use that as some foreshadowing.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I love it. So excited for that.
Me too. But yeah, okay, yeah. Tell me something else, witchy moment.
Witchy moment.
Let's give them a little bit of that, because this podcast is about getting to know the real Jenna. Well, this is the real Jenna.
Okay, so you know this about me, and as evidenced by already telling you that I cried 3 times too. So
she's a Cancer.
I'm a Cancer. Very, very emotional. Wear my emotions on my sleeve, but I'm Leo rising. So what that means for the woo-woo crowd is that anybody knows Leos, like they're very much confident in like this external presence.
That's where she gets her confidence.
And that's where I get my confidence from, because it's what I actually portray to the world as your rising sign. And so I feel like whatever, even if it is woo-woo, I'm like, I even get delulu on that kind of stuff. I'm like, no, remember, I'm actually a lion and a Leo, and I can do this. And that's what it is.
And I've got this.
And G's a Libra, and so
I'm very much a Libra.
Our signs tend to go really well together, actually.
They do. They do. But it's funny because like she's saying like she'll cry to me, and I'm the one that's like, okay, so
I'm gonna need you to pump the brakes here. Yeah. Give me the facts.
I did. I told you I did that personality test.
Yes.
And it literally, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was a 9 of non-emotions.
Oh, and so 10 is 0.
Yeah.
Emotions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So mine was logic over emotion. And
that checks out.
I said that to Abigail and Hannah, and they were like, yeah, that checks.
Yeah, that checks out. I would be on the opposite end of that spectrum for
full
you.
zero.
It does make me wonder, like, how do we get along so well? But I think we both love people. And I think we love, like, I don't know, like, first impressions and, like, making relationships. And I just think we share that. And so I think
it's a good thing you don't get offended by my lack of emotion.
Oh, no. Which
I think I have emotion.
You do. You do. You save it for whenever it's necessary. And mine says like, like every day.
Me, I'm like, it has to
it's
be
okay
real
to cry
serious. It is, but I just can't.
No,
I'm like.
You're like, why are you crying again?
Literally. Oh, yeah, that's me. But yeah, that checks out. So I need to have you do that little personality test.
Well, I know I would love to. I would love to do that.
What's that? Is it the Enneagram? Or
Anagram?
Yeah.
Anagram. Yeah, I think
I need to do that.
I've done that. I did that so long ago, and I can't remember what I was, but I think when I did it, I remember being like,
you got me.
You got me again. And I'm like, everyone's like, well, don't you think that like you're expecting that, so you just think that it like lines up? Same thing with like horoscopes and stuff. I'm like,
oh yeah,
maybe.
I used to read my horoscope every single day. Yeah, Teen Vogue.
Teen Vogue.
Yes. Is Teen Vogue even a thing anymore?
I don't know. I get random magazines delivered to my house that I did not sign up for. I don't know how
somebody's paying for them.
Someone is paying for these
Wes is like, damn it, Jenna.
Not again.
Like,
what did you sign up for?
Why do we keep getting charged this?
Me.
It's I
not
need to keep up with the fashion trends.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a stylist.
Bitter?
Ooh, you could write a lot of stuff off now.
I know. I knew.
Like literally clothes.
Yeah, I mean there is a like a clause whenever you're doing your taxes where it's like has to be only like a certain amount that you can write off.
But you can still write them off.
You can write it off. Yeah, it can't be. I guess it can't be like crazy. I'm like, can I get a new Prada bag? And they're
write off.
That Schitt's Creek episode. And it's like it's a write off.
Yeah,
Who writes it off?
With my. I had that meeting with it's tax season. When I went to that meeting with my CPA and I was like, okay, so with my services expanding, how can my write-offs expand?
Oh, totally.
So now she got the doctor shit.
I know.
she got the fashion side. She just writing everything
off. Things are
off.
getting more complicated with taxes, I will say that.
I feel that.
But feel great about it. Even
feel great about those write-offs.
Feel great about those write-offs.
Entrepreneurship.
I know, right?
Well, lovely. Oh my God. Wow, what a moment. We just went all around.
Truly.
Imagine being at a dinner table with us.
Back. With tequila.
Lord,
the ideas are bouncing, babe.
The ideas are bouncing, and they get real. I think we did like 4 business deals at dinner last night.
Like,
like 20
we talked
trips
today and we're like, should we write that down?
Yeah,
or do we need a document?
Are we okay?
Yeah.
Did we really agree with that? Like, I just want to get back to that. I know we had some marks, but are we good?
I still feel like all that, like even now, clarity. I think it's good.
Yeah, no, same. My God. What she also, I'm gonna out you real quick.
Oh no.
Text me. Do we need to push back the podcast?
Oh my God, yeah, it was me. Like I'm that first person, like, if you're gonna cancel plans, I'm like, done, say less. Like you don't have to say anything to me, you're too tired. Okay, I'll stay in my pajamas. Like totally fine. But I'm like, or I can buck up here and we'll make it happen.
We bucked up. And I told her, I was like, I'm gonna have my hair in a slick back. But you want to know the real reason I didn't do a slick back?
Why?
Because the last 2 podcasts I filmed, it was a slick back.
Oh, yeah. So you don't want to like look the same.
I was like, I can't keep looking the same.
I get it. Yeah, you want to just
shake
up the vibe.
Some.
Yeah.
Coming from my stylist.
Yeah. You got to change. Well, I mean, it's an accessory. Your hair is an accessory. Hello. Part of it.
I mean, I also am getting it washed in 2 days. So it's like, I don't want to get it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't want to wash it myself. Just have them wash it on Friday. So that's why I was going to do it.
I haven't done that in so long, but that is like the best day ever whenever someone else is washing your hair and doing a blowout.
Well, because then you can also be so productive.
I need to go with you.
Like, I
just doing little social media posts
I'm
for the
working.
Week. Yeah. She's a working girl.
She's on her emails. But anyway, yeah, if you want to come get your hair washed with me, let me know.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Well, my doctor, my stylist, my girl, my friend. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm so thankful you came on the pod.
Yeah, this was so fun. We're just yapping.
We're just yapping. And hoping people love to hear me yap.
Totally.
Not really sure if people are liking it, but
we'll just look at those, objective data down the road, right? Get a couple more under and see how it's looking.
I'm just gonna keep trying.
Honestly, that's all you can do.
Consistency.
That's right.
Eventually, it'll hit.
And with a little bit of Delulu. Consistency and a little bit of Delulu.
Equal success.
100%. Hello.
You
heard it here first.
Obviously. That is it. I don't think we need to tell you guys anything else. I mean, that is the secret sauce. Delulu and consistency. It's like the perfect combination for 100%. Success. So on that note, you guys are welcome. Please like and subscribe and follow Jenna. Tell them about your handles to follow you.
Oh, yes. So PT is Winn Therapy KC and styling is Edit by Jenna.
Hey, we're putting it out there. She didn't let me follow that page until last night.
Literally last night.
And I thought we were friends.
We're so friends. We're so friends.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy.